Hello Libra, Amanda here. Welcome to Unseen Hands Healing. So this is a small story reading for you. These are different from the big monthly shift readings that just came out in the beginning of November. This is more of a smaller glimpse into what might be going on in your life a little more specifically, okay? This reading's not going to resonate for everyone, but if it's resonating for you, you'll know it. So for these readings, going along with the theme of small stories, I choose a book off the shelf that seems to be speaking to your energy, all right? They seem to call out to me, and then I choose a random passage and go from there. And so two passages have actually come out in conjunction with one another for you today, Libra. And for those of you who are new, we do get two cards, all right? I'm using the slow holler deck to then, after we do the reading, I will pull out the cards to get more of the story, okay? So settle in, get yourself a cup of tea. Here we go. First, I turn to this page here. Oh yeah, the book. One of my favorites, Declan Donnellan's The Actor in the Target, which is a book from my days in theater school. And so this book is beautiful, not only for a tool for the actor, but just really in terms of a philosophy for life. So first we've got this chapter entitled The Backwards Path. Listen closely. On this journey, patience is vital. However, we can no more be patient by an effort of will than we can trust or be present by trying. Okay, patience is a grace, and we are wise not to bar its visits. Of the great doors that we slam in its face, self-judgment is one of the mightiest. We can control our self-judgment, but we cannot control the free comings and goings of patience. When the answer can't be found today, we may feel discouraged and failed. It is easier to punish ourselves than to be patient with ourselves. However, the actor's unending quest remains the retracing of this path from how am I seen to what do I see. This is a beautiful thing coming through here about becoming incredibly present in the moment simply by asking the right questions, which here is saying, how am I seen, right? Which puts you in a position of projecting all sorts of ideas and fantasies and assumptions onto other people. And shifting into what do I see? What do I see? Suddenly it's this it shifts you into this place of becoming very present and very practical and very real about, okay, well, I'm seeing this truth and I'm seeing this. My perspective is this. You know, as Librans, and then there's this layer of patience that we cannot conjure patience. Patience comes to us, and when it does, the way we can make sure we don't slam the door in its face is by being open and gentle with ourselves and ready to receive that patience energy. There's something here already coming through about, you know, the Libran energy for some Libras to be very concerned with how other people are feeling or viewing you or thinking, rather than really dropping into your own energy and becoming very curious and interested in what you feel and what you see, how you're seeing things. Really interesting. And then I just want to read this passage, this one other passage here. Companions on this path are the uncomfortable choices. One more time. Companions on this path are the uncomfortable choices. And I mean, gosh, isn't that like the most Libran thing ever? People associate this zodiac sign, I have a Libra moon, hi, with being indecisive or being like terrified of having to make a choice. And so it's interesting that this is coming up for you, this idea of like being in a position of having to make an uncomfortable choice, or finding choices that you have in front of you to be uncomfortable, that is a companion guide for you. Okay. Now, the other passage that came out, literally my finger stuck in 2 passages. That was one of them. And the other one is this. It's a verse, it's a speech that Juliet makes to Romeo. It's Shakespeare, and I'm going to read it to you. I deliberated on as to whether this whole verse needed to be read. I think it does, because I think if you imagine that Juliet is a Libra, which, I don't know, kind of checks out. I kind of like that idea. I think you'll get where I'm going. So close your eyes with me here. Be here with me and really listen to this beautiful speech from Juliet. Thou know'st the mask of night is on my face, else would a maiden blush bepaint my cheek for what thou hast heard me speak tonight. Fain would I dwell on form, fain deny what I have spoke, but farewell compliment, dost thou love me? I know thou wilt say aye, and I will take thy word. Yet if thou swearest, thou may prove false. At lovers' perjuries they say Jove laughs. O gentle Romeo, if thou dost love, pronounce it faithfully. Or if thou think'st I am too quickly won, I'll frown and be perverse and say thee nay, so thou wilt woo, but else not for the world. In truth, fair Montague, I am too fond, and therefore thou mayst think my behaviour light, but trust me, gentleman, I'll prove more true than those that have more cunning to be strange. I should have been more strange, I must confess, but that thou overheardst ere I was ware my true love passion. Therefore pardon me, and not impute this yielding to light love which the dark night hath so discovered. So she's in this state of back and forth, and we meet her in this moment of like, she has just discovered that Romeo has been listening beneath the balcony as she has proclaimed, Romeo, Romeo, wherefore art thou, Romeo, right? She just goes on this whole thing of, why are you called this? And God, I love you and I wish. And he overheard the whole thing and she's like, oh my God. Okay, so she's caught in this moment of truth that she can't deny. She can't deny how she feels because he just heard the whole thing. And so she goes on this whole thing of like, well, should I play it coy? And should I be more cunning and more like aloof so that you'll woo me? But God, I'm already like here and like blurting out my whole feelings. So I guess I can't do that. You know, she goes through this very Libran back and forth deliberation around this choice right in front of him, which is so vulnerable and so beautiful. There's a lot here. We're already at 8.5 minutes. Let's get into cards. I feel like I could continue to talk about that, but I want to get the story. So we're moving on to the slow holler deck. Give it a couple shuffles here now that we've got the words of Juliet, this young lover, fresh on our lips. What's the story here for Libra? I ask for 3 cards, I get 3 cards. Interesting, because the devil is at the bottom of the deck. I like this. I like this. Ooh, we got 2 bonfires. All right, look. Here's what I'm looking at. Gorgeous, right? Strength with the bonfire. Architect of branches. This is the King of Wands. The bonfire and the eyes peeking out. Smoking it out. And we've got the devil. Liberation, more fire. Libra. Fire is the predominant featuring of the cards so far for you. So there's something here about coming into your passion. Architect of branches, right? That it seems that there's like a passion that wants to be revealed that's been in hiding. Interesting that we had Romeo in hiding and suddenly reveals himself to Juliet. There's something about the passion, the fire being stoked, but it's happening undercover. It's happening like deep in the guise of something. There's something about like disguised energy here. There's something hidden within this, but it's like the fire and the passion is being stoked, but it's not fully able to be revealed for some reason. But we got a lot of smoke. It's like your smoke signal, which is really interesting because Juliet's heart beating is like just a smoke signal for Romeo. He can smell it on the other side of town. He could smell it if he were on the other side of the world. He could feel her heart beating. It's that kind of a passionate connection coming through. And this doesn't have to be about romance, although it could be. Obviously, Romeo and Juliet, the energy is here, but there's something about the passion being stoked, this vitality, King of Wands. The power to express your passion in unique ways, in confident ways. The confidence to release your passion that is normally perhaps hidden is beginning to, sometimes I see this as, what do they call them? One of those like accordion things that fans the flame. It's like someone is doing that here and revving this flame up, but there's something about it not completely being revealed yet, because we've got, you alone. This feels like your energy, Libra, strength, alone in the dark of this cave, again, hidden away, right? Needing to go into the cave. Mercury retrograde is a perfect analogy for that in Scorpio, because it's like going into the dark spaces, and dark is not a bad thing. It's just where the climate is different. The climate is different in a cave. It's going down into those depths of yourself and building a fire and saying, okay, I'm going to camp out here. I'm going to camp out here and I'm going to keep this fire alive because it's all I got. And I'm going to wait for the revelation, right? This strength card is what Declan Donnellan was talking about in the beginning of the first passage about the grace of patience visiting you. The grace of not pushing for the reveal, but letting it, emerge. And like, as I'm like feeling my body want to morph and open, we have this beautiful image of the devil. Don't be scared of the devil. It's about liberation. Clearly it's about freedom. It's about like, I'm gonna burn. This is so, this is the second reading where like witch energy has come out for you, Libra, which is really kind of cool, because to me, this is totally an image of a witch burning at the stake, being called a devil, when that's like not, there is this energy of, I'm going to burn here, or I'm going to liberate myself. And we see the liberation with the crown chakra flying open. We see this liberation in terms of attaching wings to fly out of there before this person burns. It's very Phoenix, this energy. I think this is what you're waiting for. And the devil card in the tarot talks about releasing yourself from attachments, from things that hold you back and keep you small. And usually, most often, they are patterns of behavior or belief systems, or these ideas of shame and guilt that we carry within us that keep us bound to certain ways of living or certain ways of thinking about life and about ourselves and about love, if that is what this is about for you. And so here we see you meeting yourself in the depths, in the caves of your being, so that you can face this energy head on, so that you can truly see what is ready to come out now and be revealed. It's like, this is the story. You go down into the cave with the bonfire, you light the bonfire and you wait. You wait because you know it's there. You can feel the presence of this giant thing waiting to come. But again, you can't force patience, right? You have to allow it to come to you. And so you wait, asking not, how am I seen, right? This thing peeking out from underneath, this feeling of being watched. Rather than focusing on that, focusing on, how am I seeing? What do I see? Specifically, what do I see here in this cave? And then suddenly it's that when you become curious and present in the moment with your own experience of life, it's that is when it starts to peek out from underneath. The fire starts to get stoked, and then all of a sudden there it is, the big reveal. The big reveal of the things that have been holding you back, that have been buried very, very deep inside of you, that have been holding you back, and the opportunity to put some wings on and fly out of there, the opportunity to phoenix, the opportunity to open your mind to new heights that leads to this massive transformation and sense of freedom. This is very, very interesting so far, Libra. So if this is resonating with you, if this feels like I'm talking about your story, stick around, all right? I'm going to put a little preview of the extended reading where we'll use the Dark Exact Tarot to help get more specific now. You know, this is pretty general, so let's get specific. What's this architect of branches peeking out? What do you need liberation from? What are you in that cave to meet? You know, why did the Romeo and Juliet soliloquy want to come out, or speech want to come through? What is this notion of patience? So we'll use this deck. We'll use some other oracle decks as well. I'll put a preview of that extended reading at the end here so you can see that little clip and see if it's resonating with you. And if it is, you'll click the link in the description box below. It'll take you over to Vimeo where you can view this extended reading instantly. Okay, so if this is your story, that's where you can find the extended here. All right, folks, thank you so much for joining me. If you are enjoying this work and you'd like to dive deeper, you can check your November monthly shift reading. That's posted for you. You can find me on Instagram, on Patreon, all the places. All right, personal readings are available as well. So check in with me, feel free to reach out, and I'll talk to you soon, Libra. Opposites coming together to reflect one another. This is speaking to me of the full moon, which is the day after the 11/11 portal. We literally have Monday, November 11th, Tuesday, November 12th, at least where I am in the world. That is the day of the full moon in Taurus, which to me is a pretty big one. One of the Sabian symbols for that moon, the degree of the sun, is the curtains being drawn back to reveal the light. And isn't that what this reading is really about? It's about trying to come out of the light of the moon and into the light of the sun. But in order to do that, you have to go into the moon first. You have to go into that moon energy in order to come out the sun. And that's the journey that you're on, the journey that you're having patience for. The Lovers is a card about seeing things, seeing yourself clearly reflected in what brings you joy. That could be a person that you are enamored with. Juliet is enamored with Romeo. And the Lovers, if she pulled the Lovers card asking about this relationship, I would tell her, Juliet, Romeo is this incredible mirror for you. All of the things that you love about Romeo are the things that his presence brings out in you.